Has made so much money for some folks, they're giving it away. A couple in Kitchener-Waterloo announced they're donating $13 million of their winnings to local charities. And RIM keeps announcing big deals the market loves, the latest with AOL and Compaq. And the stock is in orbit. Dennis Kavelman is Chief Financial Officer, and he's our guest this morning. Good morning, Dennis.
Hey, Howard.
So Jim Bilsilli was here January 19th. The stock was $80. Take yourself outside the situation you're in. Would you buy this stock if you were with the company?
That's a tough question. I think you have to say how exciting is the wireless data sector right now. Steve Case talked yesterday about partnerships, and the way RIM has really competed globally to this point is forming partnerships with really big players.
But you're looking at, I mean, just on this stat sheet I showed you here in the commercial, 1,700% year over year, the stock is up.
I think you're seeing a new sector of called wireless internet. RIM really is now being recognized as a leader in this area, and the value of a leadership position in an emerging market is tough to pick.
I noticed recently that Fidelity Mutual Funds has upped its holdings of RIM stock. Is that a bit scary because you've got really big investors now in on this, and you guys have to deliver?
Well, we have a core group of some investors who have been with the company for quite a long time, and Fidelity is one of them. They understand the story very well. They're very supportive, and I think it's a really good thing for the company.
But is it a lot of pressure because you've got all these people who have very high expectations of the company going forward?
I think that pressure is always present. RIM, we have our business plan, we have our objectives that we communicate, and our job's just to keep on meeting them.
So with this very valuable stock, do you plan on doing anything with it? I mean, acquisitions, for instance?
I think acquisitions are definitely part of RIM's strategy. Anything that would accelerate our time to market and in new products and new technologies would be something we'd look at.
So you're sniffing around right now?
We are definitely open to acquisitions that make sense.
And what about the price of the stock for the retail investor? It's very hefty now. I mean, you got to spend more than 20 grand to get a board lot. Are you thinking about a split?
A split hasn't been contemplated at this point. If it's something that our advisors tell us would make a big difference, then we would definitely consider it.
Okay, and what about managing growth going forward? Because, I mean, all these new contracts, they have to be met.
Definitely, we are hiring like crazy right now. Our head office is in Waterloo. We have opened an office in Canada. We are definitely going to be growing much more in the near future. We're going to be sticking around in Waterloo, getting some more space and looking for top-notch people.
And is this, would you say, the #1 challenge right now, managing the growth?
There are a number of challenges. Definitely getting our product out there and on the distribution side is a big one. Manufacturing our products with quality is a big one, and finding really good people is always tough. But
let's just show the product, because some people, I don't know who, but some people might not know what it is now, the BlackBerry. That's what RIM is all about, or one of the things. What about revenue growth targets going forward now?
Sure. Well, many people are expecting RIM to grow very quickly, ourselves included. Our targets are very high. The street, both in Toronto and in the U.S., has very high growth targets for us, mainly driven by BlackBerry.
And other components as well, though?
We definitely sell some other products. We do sell our hardware devices to carriers that offer it as a two-way paging service. We also sell the radio itself that other people build into their products.
This raises the question of spectrum, and this is an issue that seems to be bubbling forth in the public arena right now. The limited frequency spectrum. With all this wireless stuff going on, is there going to be enough spectrum?
Well, I think, Howard, one of the great things about wireless data people don't understand is because we transmit packets just like the internet does, it's much different than a cell phone. For instance, using that for a month, heavy messaging for me would be the equivalent of about a 2-3 minute cell phone call.
That's all. So with all of this wireless stuff going on, we're not going to run into spectrum problems?
We're not running into spectrum constraints on the messaging side, et cetera, and you'll read a lot about next generation networks that are coming down the road.
Which are?
You've heard of 3G, 2.5G is putting data over PCS voice networks, and they're all technologies that RIM's exploring.
What about 3Com? It's spinning off its Palm division today, expected to be a very hot IPO. Does that give you guys pause at all? I mean, they're going to want to do this.
Well, definitely Palm has been hugely successful and a leader in the handheld PDA space. To this point, wireless is very new for them. So while they're a leader in PDAs, RIM's been focused on nothing but wireless data for the last 10 years, and we think we have a good position.
But they have such a big name.
That's true. Branding is very important, and definitely we compete in different areas of the marketplace. They're currently targeting the consumer market, and RIM is focused on the enterprise and corporate market.
Just back to the issue of managing growth and keeping people in the budget this week, the stock options issue that was raised. Is that an improvement, enough of an improvement for companies like yours?
Well, RIM's always found the best way to keep people, while money is a concern, is definitely giving them the best tools and a really good working environment. We've been very successful in Waterloo, and we have very, very low turnover. So while hiring people is important, keeping them is even more important.
And what is the big thing on the horizon that's next for you guys? I mean, you announced AOL and Compact this week, but what's coming up?
I think people are looking for us to really drive adoption of BlackBerry and see it in a lot more people's hands. I think people are looking for new technologies and new relationships in Europe and abroad. And I think people are looking for some new products that might appeal to different users.
And what about competitors? I mean, InfoWave had a very big move yesterday on its announcement with Nokia.
Well, there are a lot of different players in the wireless sector. Obviously, we've been identified as competing with a lot of them. I think there's a lot of room for growth. It's really early, and there's a big market out there. What's your view of InfoWave? I mean, are you worried about them at all? We know the people at InfoWave very well. We work with a number of people that you may identify as competitors, but we've actually seen them many times in the marketplace.
Now, when Jim Balsillie was here in January, he said that the plan going forward is trading off margins with growth. Is that still kind of an operating philosophy?
To this point, we've been very successful at keeping our margins in a certain range. I said one of our strategic imperatives is to really grow adoption of BlackBerry, so I think that will be the overriding goal.
And any major announcements? Often when you guys are on, there's a big announcement coming that we don't know about.
No comment on that one.
No comment on that one? We'll watch for it then. Dennis Kavelman, CFO of Research in Motion. Thanks very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Dynamic Power Breakfast has been brought to you by Dynamic Mutual.